Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, U.S. Immigration. New congressional bill sparks firestorm. Lawmakers push measure targeting Ilhan Omar's deportation. A political storm is brewing in Washington after several high-profile remarks suggested that even naturalized U.S. citizens could face deportation under proposed new legislation. The debate intensified when lawmakers floated the idea that citizenship obtained through fraud should not be permanent, and that denaturalization must remain an option. One of the most striking moments came when a senior Republican voice bluntly argued that individuals who commit immigration fraud should lose their citizenship and be removed from the country. The statement ignited fierce reactions across the political spectrum, raising serious legal, constitutional, and ethical questions. A proposal that pushes legal boundaries. At the heart of the discussion is a proposed legislative change that would expand the government's authority to revoke citizenship after naturalization. Under current law, denaturalization is rare and typically limited to cases where clear fraud occurred during the original immigration process. Supporters of the proposal argue that citizenship should not shield individuals who intentionally deceive the system. In their view, fraud, whether related to identity, family ties, or eligibility, undermines the integrity of U.S. immigration laws and must carry consequences, even years later. Critics, however, warn that such an expansion could open the door to political targeting and abuse, eroding the long-standing principle that citizenship is secure once lawfully granted. The legal reality of denaturalization. Legal experts emphasize that revoking citizenship is extraordinarily difficult. For the government to succeed, it must prove that fraud was intentional, material, and directly tied to the individual's naturalization process. Crimes or controversies that arise after citizenship is granted generally do not qualify. This is precisely why some lawmakers are pushing for legislative changes to lower the threshold and broaden the scope. Whether such changes would survive constitutional scrutiny remains an open question. Immigration, power, and political strategy. The debate extends beyond one individual. Former White House advisor Stephen Miller recently argued that mass migration policies are not merely humanitarian, but strategic designed to reshape the political landscape over time. He pointed to attempts in states like New York and California to expand voting rights for non-citizens in local elections. While courts have blocked some of these efforts, critics argue they reveal a broader political agenda tied to immigration policy. Supporters of expanded access counter that these measures encourage civic engagement and reflect changing demographics, not a coordinated power grab. What happens next? As of now, the proposed denaturalization expansion remains just that, a proposal. Any legislative movement would face intense debate, legal challenges, and public scrutiny. What is clear is that immigration, citizenship, and political power are once again colliding at the national level. Whether this moment leads to sweeping reform or fades into partisan rhetoric will depend on Congress, the courts, and ultimately, the American public. One thing is certain. The conversation around who belongs, who decides, and how permanent citizenship truly is has entered a new and consequential chapter. Trump tells Ilhan Omar to leave the country. The president has long attacked the progressive lawmaker for her heritage. President Donald Trump on Saturday went after Representative Ilhan Omar for her Somali heritage, urging her to leave the country in a social media post, reprising an attack he used several times throughout his time in office. She should go back, he wrote on True Social, alongside a video of Omar speaking to a crowd. It was not immediately clear when the event was, but the video of Omar speaking has been circulating among right-leaning social media accounts for at least a couple weeks. Omar was born in Somalia, fled a civil war in the country when she was 8, and arrived in the U.S. after spending 4 years in a Kenyan refugee camp in 1995. She became an American citizen in 2000. Trump's MAGA allies, including Laura Loomer, were quick to amplify his posts across their social media channels. This isn't the first time in recent weeks that the president has suggested Omar should be removed from the country. You know, I met the head of Somalia. Did you know that? He told reporters at the Oval Office in September. And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back. He said, I don't want her. Trump also called out Omar multiple times during his first term, in one instance accusing her of telling us how to run our country during the final months of the 2020 campaign. Her office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. But the four-term lawmaker told a radio host Friday that she isn't concerned by rhetoric around her immigration status. "I have no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and, deport me," she said on the Dina Baydala show. "But I don't even know, why that's such a scary threat. I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. I could go live wherever I want if I wanted to." It's a weird thing to wake up every single day to bring that into every single conversation. We're going to deport Ilhan. House Republicans circulates petition to deport Omar. Representative Brandon Gil is circulating a petition for his supporters to sign to deport a fellow member of Congress, Representative Ilhan Omar. Gil had previously called on Omar to be deported, arguing she is more loyal to undocumented immigrants in the United States from her native Somalia than to the United States. The petition and an email circulated by Gil were first reported by Axios. Omar became a U.S. citizen in 2000 after fleeing her native country due to civil war. The Minnesota representative has been the target of Republican insults following her staunch criticism of President Trump during his first administration. "Friend, we should have never let Ilhan Omar into our country. And frankly, America would be a much better place if she were to be sent back to Somalia," Gil wrote in the email, which included a picture of him next to President Trump. As in the past, he criticized Omar for discussing how to evade immigration and customs enforcement officers. Recently, it came out that Ilhan Omar is hosting free workshops for Somalians who are in our country legally on how to evade IC and deportation. It could not be more blatant. Ilhan Omar is more loyal to illegal Somalians than she is to the United States or the office she was elected to, he added. Several Democrats criticized the most recent remarks by Gil, a freshman member of the new Congress. At Speaker Johnson, "Get control of your caucus before we have to take other actions. This is demeaning and embarrassing," Representative Mark Pokin said in a post on X. "We all need to be better than this shit. I expect an answer today." Representative Pramila Jayapal also raised concerns with the GOP members' comments. "It's disgusting that Republicans are attempting to raise money by threatening to deport a U.S. citizen just because they disagree with her," she wrote on X. Ilhan Omar is a tireless advocate for her district, a fierce protector of our democracy, and I know these fascist threats won't keep her down. That is all for today in this video. Please hit like and subscribe for an upcoming video. See you later. Till then, take care.